Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Hypergamous Journey. My name is Denise. At this channel, we discuss dating advice from a hypergamous perspective. Hypergamy is the practice, cultural tradition of dating, marrying, partnering with a man of a higher social and economic level. I share with you my real life dating advice and experiences. And today I would like to talk about silver singles match number 2 that I met, a couple of weeks ago now. My membership has since expired on September 5th, and I'm just doing 30 days on these various dating apps. So this match, he is originally from Poland. He came to the United States in 1977. He said he was married for 35 years and he is now divorced. I don't know how long he's been divorced, but he is 70 years old. And yesterday we had a conversation about getting together. And so he lives in Tennessee and he visited me Labor Day. And we spent three hours together. He came at 12 and he was off back on the road like 4:30. So we had lunch at a nice Thai restaurant that has really good food and very popular, local place in an upscale neighborhood. And then he wanted to go walking in the park. So I knew of some parks that were, I knew the neighborhood and lots of people walking around the neighborhood and stuff like that. So I felt comfortable and safe. And so, we talked, and then it got around to, what we each were looking for. And basically, this man just wanted a one-day stand. Instead of saying a one-night stand, he wanted a one-day stand. And, I politely told him that that's not what I'm looking for, and I'm looking for someone who is willing to get to know me before we get to that point, that there will be no casual, uncommitted, intimate relations here. And so, then we moved on and talked some more, and then he brought it back around to that. And I was like, okay, this dude is not really understanding me. And he understood exactly, in hindsight, I jump ahead of myself. So then he brought it back around and then I brought it to his attention. I'm not doing that. None of that is going to be happening today or anytime soon. So, okay, he left, he made it back home, and we had been talking pretty much every day, except for a couple of days last week. We kept missing each other. And at one point he called. I just didn't feel like answering the phone. I was tired. So I called him the next day. So I always answered his calls or returned them. But last night around 7, we talked, and, we were supposed to have a FaceTime date where I sent him the link to the restaurant where I wanted to go to eat, and he would have the food delivered. He would, pay for the dinner and then have it delivered to my home. And I love ethnic food, so I sent him the link to an Ethiopian restaurant. But I didn't hear from him, so I was like, okay, well, this is probably not a good sign, because I knew, because I wasn't willing to agree to his terms, I knew it was just a matter of days before everything would just stop and it would fizzle out, because that's just the way it goes today. He lives in Tennessee. So he drove down to see me, and I felt like he was taking a chance because the carrot was the possibility of intimate relations within a few hours. And that was the carrot, and it was worth the 3 or 4 hour drive to see if he could do that. And he had never been to Atlanta. So, and he spent his life in Chicago. So he moved from Chicago a year and a half ago to Tennessee. He had never been to Atlanta. So here I am an attractive woman who is in his age group. He's 70, I'm 61. And he thought, well, maybe she's desperate enough to want to have relations with me in a few hours if I'm just sweet enough and kind enough. And he was a gentle guy. I could feel his energy. I could see where somebody might be seduced by that, what he was doing. And he wasn't really doing anything. He just has a really nice, soothing voice. So I could see how he could seduce somebody, but I'm not the one. Okay. So when we had our conversation yesterday, we brought it back around. He brought conversation back around to us having intimate relations. And I said to him in so many different ways, like in 3 different ways, I said, I am looking for a committed relationship. I am not going to have casual sex with you or anyone else. It takes time to get to that point. Then he brought up, he was sick, he had cancer, and now he's recovering, and tomorrow's not promised. I said, it sounds like you're trying to convince me to see things your way. Now, this is where the shaming part comes in. He said to me, I put it in my journal here. Hello, gorgeous journal. He said to me, what did he say? Oh, if I have to convince you, then that could be considered rape. To me, that's a shaming strategy. If I have to convince you, then that is considered rape. And I stopped talking after that. I just let him talk because that's not rape. Rape is when you force yourself upon a woman and she says no, and you continue. A man continues to force himself upon a woman. That's rape, non-consensual. But if you can get in my mind somehow and convince me that I should do something, you're not coercing me, you're not forcing me, but you seduce me somehow into taking my clothes off. I'm getting graphic here, and opening my legs. I don't really think that's rape. Now, after I get in that compromising position and I change my mind and I say, no, get off of me, I'm putting on my clothes, and you continue, that's rape. That's my understanding of rape. So the point was to shame me in some kind of way to agree to his terms. And I stopped talking because I stopped arguing with men. I stopped talking, I listened, and I said, we're not on the same page. We're not on the same page. I'm looking for something different, and you're looking for something different. And we said our goodbyes. So another strategy, ladies, is shaming. It didn't come in a typical form that we're used to, but that was a shaming thing. It's like, well, if I try to convince you, then that's considered rape. So I need you to say yes, and then I'll be down there tomorrow because he's retired. He doesn't have anything going on. Okay. The other thing is, I'm looking at my notes here in my journal. He said he was living with his daughter. So I understand he got ill and with cancer, and he was divorced from his wife. His oldest daughter is in Chicago with her mother, his ex-wife. And so the younger daughter moved to Tennessee. And I guess he's close with the younger daughter. Like, you know how sometimes they have 2 daughters, children take sides. And so the older daughter took sides with the mother, and she doesn't talk to him. I think he said he hasn't talked to her in 7 years. And so the youngest daughter went to Tennessee. She's married with 2 children. And so he went to live with them. He said he's been with them 1.5 years. Then he said that he was talking about something, I don't know. And I said, well, I know you get Social Security. You're 70, right? And he said, yes. He said, but it's not much. So he kind of dismissed it. It's like not much. Then he brought up about investing $300,000 in a real estate renovation project in Chicago. Now that brought a red flag for me, because it's like, well, who gives somebody, even though it's your sister, who gives all of their cash to a real estate investment deal? That was like dumb. And even on an amateur level, you don't take everything, all of your money, and invest it in a project, like all of it. Like you have no reserve. Now, he could have been telling the truth, or he could have been making it up. It doesn't matter. That's not a wise move. And then I analyzed, he's always relying on women to do something for him. Another thing he said was, you know, he's staying with his daughter because he's sick and now he's getting better. He gave all his money to his sister to invest in a real estate deal, and now he's waiting on it to sell or whatever. It just sounded shady. And so when a red flag or something doesn't sound right, ladies, believe yourself. Go with that until you have absolute proof otherwise. Other than that, all you can do is trust yourself. So that was like, that doesn't sound right. Giving all of your money to your sister to invest in a real estate deal, that was dumb. And now all you have your Social Security check and you're living with your daughter. So then he said that his ex-wife, she didn't work. She stayed home and took care of their 2 children. And he gave his paycheck to her, and she wasn't putting that much Social Security away for him. And he owned his own businesses, so he was always working for himself. But he made enough for the wife to stay home, to take care of their 2 kids, and now you ain't got no money. And now you over here looking in my face, trying to get me to seduce me so you can sleep with me. And then, you know, who knows what. And then I don't hear from you again. And you ain't got no damn money. So, good riddance, Mr. Poland. That's all I can say. You know, good riddance, Mr. Poland. Good riddance. If you like this video or any of my others, please like, share, subscribe, and let me know what you think of my videos in the comment section. See you in the next one.